You're listening to What's Good Sacramento, where we not only talk about real estate and home loans, but what's going on in the greater Sacramento area. What's new, what's hot, what is going on. You're here with Mac, the mortgage man, and Lisa, your local Sacramento realtor. Let's jump on into today's show. Welcome to What's Good Sacramento. It is a good day to have a good day. Lisa, how are you doing today?
Good morning, Mac. I'm having a great day today now.
Now, I know guys, it's been a little bit of a struggle. We're still trying to figure out what's going on, but I think we got it. But you know what? We're going to jump into it. We're going to give you guys a good show today because that's what you guys deserve. And we are going to start by talking about what is hot out here in the Sacramento area.
Yes, you know what's really hot is that California State Fair. I mean, we talked about it, we keep touching on it every week, but we're living through it right now. So I just want to highlight a few features that are coming up for you folks that are interested in going to the state fair. If you're foodies, they've got a lot of food. They have competitions, local, I think chefs, they're going to have a competition with that. I thought that was pretty cool. Music artists, we've been talking about it week over week, who's playing Leanne Rhymes.
Mm,
Genuine, I've mentioned in the past. They have a junior chef cooking challenge,
that's
and that
cool.
just passed. So I don't know if y'all missed that. But I think what's really cool about the state fair, which I can't remember, it's been many moons for me, but just trying all the different foods, like the deep fried foods. Not that I'd eat them now, but if you guys are interested in that, they have a lot to offer. But you know what else is hot, Mac?
What's that?
This blew my mind. Amazon. Have you heard about it?
Have I
It's
heard of
coming out.
Amazon? You mean the rainforest? Is that what you mean? Amazon?
No, crazy. The palm paying magic is what they're referring to it as. It's called Amazon One. Have you heard the word?
I have. Yeah, Amazon One is well, I think it's like the self checkout system, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I think that everything should be like that. Like the whole like just like I'm just gonna take what I want and I'm gonna walk out the door and I don't need to deal with anybody. And it makes a lot of sense when you're really thinking about it because where the way we've been going with getting rid of like checkers where we do self checkout, right? And then
Mhm.
obviously like going to Amazon for getting a majority of our stuff, then yeah, that system makes a lot of sense and I'm all about it. Right now, maybe I'm giving myself up to the Matrix. I don't know, but
Right.
I
Okay.
like it.
That's what freaks me out.
Yeah.
It's literally scanning your palm and reading the veins. That
Hmm.
is crazy. And
Hmm.
they said like that there are already several locations in Whole Foods, which I was just kind of curious as to why they chose Whole Foods as their first, chain line to offer this. But they
They
said
don't
by the
they
end of
own
this
a Whole Foods? I think they own Whole
Okay, well,
Foods.
that would be a good
Yeah,
reason. Yeah, is that why you can okay, that makes sense.
I
Yeah.
think I think
And
they
so
do.
right now,
Yeah.
yeah, so now it's in California, Texas, New York. But they said by the end of 23, we should have 500 more locations.
Mm.
I don't know, Mac. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, I know we still traditionally have to apply for credit to get approved for home loans, but imagine the day when they're able to scan our brain or something, give us a FICO.
Well, I like watching Black Mirror. I don't know if you've had the chance to watch Black Mirror, but um
Yes.
there's a lot of like technology episodes that are in there and they have a couple where you do a scan or you earn your money through cycling or you earn your kind of ranking in society by people rating you, and that's like
Right.
your ability to do things in the world is literally based off of that ranking system. So I don't know, man. We're growing at a rapid pace. We're inventing a lot of new things, and maybe some at our detriment. But it's exciting time, and I think when the time comes that you can just scan your face or your palm and get pre-approved for a FICO score, I better start switching to a different career because I don't know what help I'm going to be really when the AI steps in. Um,
That's crazy.
so we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, speaking of loans, why don't we go ahead and let's go ahead and jump in and talk a little bit about how the rates are looking now. They haven't moved very much, guys. So don't feel like you've missed much if you haven't been able to tune into the show. But ultimately, we're sitting at very similar rates right now, right? And as always, we like to use Mortgage News Daily as our kind of go to. Now, this is not the end all be all numbers. This is based kind of off a good buyer, and this will vary from location to location, state to state, lender to lender. There'll be slightly different changes on this, but this is a good baseline. And as you can see, we're sitting at 6.95 for a conventional or fixed 30-year loan. And that's been pretty typical. We're right around the 6.9. We did go up to like a 6.2 there for a minute, but think we're seeing at least a level on that sort of field. And if you're looking for a jumbo loan, we're sitting at about 7%. So I think things are looking pretty good right now. We don't very often kind of mention VA loans, but if you can qualify for a VA loan, if you're a vet and you're in good standings, this is pretty good. There's a lot of great services on there. We probably should go over VA loans at some point because I don't think enough people speak on them, but a lot of great where at least we're not seeing this big jump that we thought we were going to be seeing. Now we're also not seeing this big drop that we thought we might see because of properties coming to the market because of the spring bump and the summer rush. But so is life. And the market's sitting where it's sitting, and there's some interesting things going on with the feds and the government as a whole, which we'll get into on another episode. But I think for the most part, things are looking pretty good. So I'm excited to see where we're at. I'm excited to continue to make moves and help you guys guide you guys through this. But I think rates are looking pretty good right now. So those are rates. Let's talk about real estate. Lisa, what's going on in real estate right now?
Yeah, so the neighborhood or area that we want to feature today is Fair Oaks. Lovely, lovely little area. Average median sold price year to date last year was 670,000. Year to date today, well, actually, excuse me, that's this year. Last year, 692. So that's a negative 3.2% decline in sold prices. But you know what's really cool about Fair Oaks is a lot of the property owners there are original owners and generational owners, right? So we hear a lot of hype about generational wealth, growing, building equity. So it made me kind of think about that when I thought about Fair Oaks, because majority of the population that lives there are homeowners,
Right.
right? So considering that, if you want to get into a piece of that real estate over there, there's this really cool brokerage, and they just focus on mid-century modern homes.
Mm.
And I follow them on IG because I think some of the listings that they have are super cool, and which makes like Fair Oaks very unique because a lot of these properties have been completely redone, remodeled, and they give that mid-mod, mid-century vibe, but
Right.
they're sitting on such a huge plot of land. And then when you go inside, they're just so modernized, and it's just really cool to see. So I think that that's that little niche about Fair Oaks, aside from it being such a family and friendly and beautiful community that
Mhm.
makes it very unique, are the properties in themselves.
Right.
But Matt, can you share a little bit about the area yourself?
Well, I do want to talk about the real estate side just a little bit because, we're seeing when she's talking about these percentages, right? We're talking about the cost of these properties, and we're
Yeah.
seeing a drop, which we
Uh,
expected, right? We've been talking about price drops in real estate for the better part of 8 or 9 months, and so we knew that this was going to happen. We knew that this was coming. Now 3% is quite a bit, but also keep in mind that Sacramento is one of the fastest enlarging growing equity locations in the state, right? Really in the country. And so if you see information that says like Sacramento is one of the top places that's losing equity, well, then yeah, because we were also one of the top places to grow in that.
no,
But as
absolutely.
far as those percentages, like that's pretty like not super bad. I think we're still looking
It
pretty
really
good
isn't.
if you own a home and you want to sell a home. Now, if you want to buy a home, these are probably not dropping fast enough for you. You're like more dive, 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 dive.
Yeah.
But I think things are looking, pretty good on that front, and we're starting to see a little bit of a leveling. Yeah, did you
But
have
I
something?
do want to say something because week over week, I do talk about, the sales price and the median prices, right? We talk about percentages, but in particular for Fair Oaks, it's pretty stable because the
Mm,
3.2%, decline, that's not as significant as some of the other communities we featured in the past weeks. So that's
yeah.
something to consider when you guys are thinking about purchasing, right? And you want something long term.
Yeah. And Fair Oaks, a little bit about Fair Oaks. I live right on the border of Fair Oaks and Carmichael. So I kind of consider both of them my home. And Fair Oaks is a really unique place. I went to a Rotary meeting out in Fair Oaks and everybody was super nice, but I got to meet a lot of the kind of the locals out there. I spent a little bit of time out there. I like Shangri-La, which is a restaurant out there, very cool place. There's this vegan place. I think it's called like Sunflower or Sun Kiss. I don't know. I'm not vegan, so I don't really know. But my wife and her friend went there. They said it was very good. And so, but it is still kind of that hometown feel. But you're right. It is one of those smaller pocket areas in Sacramento where the prices jump up. Right.
Mhm.
And so because of that, it can be a little bit more difficult to get in there because people are not selling as much. And if you can get in there, it's going to be a little more expensive, likely. But there still are some areas out there in the Fair Oaks area. There's still some properties out there that are a little more affordable. But the
Right.
interesting thing, and you sort of brought this up about Fair Oaks, is that they have these big lots because it's
Yes.
kind of an older area. They have these huge lots, even these huge lots that are undeveloped out there. So definitely something to look into, definitely something to consider. But let's talk a little bit about Fair Oaks, kind of like on the numbers basis. So we got Fair Oaks again in the Sacramento County area, depending on where you're kind of driving from in Fair Oaks, you're about 15 minutes from downtown.
We do like to
Let's
use that,
let's just call it
huh?
20. Yeah, let's just call it 20 minutes. You're right about 20 minutes away. And it's kind of a dense suburban feel of an area, a lot of residential homes. There's a private school out there, there's a private golf course, things like that. There's some $1 million properties out there, definitely some
Mhm.
stuff to look at. But fun facts about Fair Oaks, it was ranked number 60. Now, 60 may seem a little bit high, but 60 out of 820 best places to retire in California. So
Think about
that,
that. It
yeah,
makes
that,
sense, right? What I'm
mhm,
saying, most of the homeowners stay put. So
mhm,
this is long term. So when you're thinking about planning real estate and investment in a property, these would be locations that I would tell clients, yeah, if you're looking to
right,
make this your forever home, absolutely, this may be a community to consider.
right. And on the ranking side, they were ranked 167 out of 528 best suburbans to live in. So I think that's like pretty cool when you consider it's such a small thing inside of this kind of big Sacramento area, right? Um, very cool. But population, we're sitting around 31,000 people. And we've seen about a 2 to 3% growth in that area over the last couple of years. So it seems like people are really trying to kind of be in that area a little bit more. Now, if you're thinking, oh, what is it going to cost me to live in this area? How much do I need to make? The average household income is sitting at about $120,000. So mix it and match it however you want to do that. But
Right.
that's probably what
Full
you're
time,
going to
part
be.
time, side
Yeah.
hustle,
Side
whatever.
hustle,
But it all makes sense. The
yeah.
numbers don't lie.
Yeah, so that's kind of where you need to be, and we're looking at median rent somewhere between 1,800 and 2,100 for 1 to 2 bedroom apartments, kind of in the area. And so, I love Fair Oaks. It's definitely one of the areas I could like consider myself moving into, especially since I live right there. I like where I'm currently at.
Mhm.
So, definitely something to consider. But why don't we jump in and talk a little bit about what's going on in the community and some activities?
Absolutely. So you mentioned previously Shangri-La. And so I did go there and I had had that on my to-do list like that. It was one of the restaurants I wanted
Mm,
to go and eat at because just the looks of it looks super cool. And I just love that real small town feel. And right there in that little niche of like,
Mhm.
it's like a three-way,
Yeah.
right? Divider. You have that restaurant. And then I think what's neighboring to it in the same parking lot is like a brewery or something. I
There's
haven't been there.
a barbecue place
Oh,
there
barbecue.
that I've
Yeah.
been
So I was like,
to,
okay,
and
that
it's
would be
really good.
next.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very good. If you like barbecue, it's
Okay.
very good. Yeah.
Yeah, so and I just like the feeling because like even where you have to park, if their parking lot's super full, you have like just this really small town vibe, which reminded me of Sebastopol, where I grew up as a really little kid. So I was like, I like it. It's its own little community. Another popular restaurant out there is Carmelita's Mexican restaurant. I have never eaten there. I'd probably be a really huge critic on whether it's good or not, but
Sure.
apparently the ratings are good. Okay, here's something interesting. This is something Mo brought to my attention. They have the 18th annual Chicken Festival, September 16th. So if you're all interested in a chicken festival, there you go. Fair Oaks is hosting it, and they've done this year over year. And I thought, huh, I mean, they have everything from enjoying like live music. I don't know what Cluck and Crow contest is, but I was like, okay,
Mm.
food, cornhole. So anyway, that was something interesting to me. I was like, Fair Oaks is doing something different, a little bit more of a country vibe, which I can't hate on because I like that too. And then another thing that was super cool that I've discovered was they have comedy under the stars.
Mm.
So Fair Oaks Recreational Center is actually linking up with Sacramento's Laughs Unlimited, and they have local comedians come out to the park or under the stars at this softball field, and they
That's
just
cool.
perform. So they're gonna have two. Yeah, I thought that's super cool. It's like that is such a neat thing to offer. It is 18 and over, you guys, so you can't bring kids. They do offer, alcoholic beverages and light snacks for purchase and stuff. But I thought, you know what, that is really cool when you discover little things that the communities have to offer. If you're looking for something to do on a warm summer evening, there you go. And then another thing when I was just researching this, like comedies, this is just something as something hot for Sacramento. Sacktown Get Down No Host Open Mic Night on August 2nd. I love to laugh. So I thought that's super cool. So they just have a lot of local comedians, unknowns yet that are trying to up and coming. Just grab the mic and just have at it. And I thought, okay, if you want to get some laughs in, those are a couple things that you can look into. And then lastly, we've got the American River that runs right by, Fair Oaks. And have you ever done any river rafting yourself?
River rafting twice, I think, but have float. Big thing in Sacramento, if you're not familiar, is floating the river. And
Yes.
so it's not really river rafting because there's like barely any of that on this. It's more kind of casual floating. But through the Fair Oaks there off Sunrise,
Yes.
there's a couple different places you can get rafts from or take your own rafts, but there's a couple launching points. Sunrise is the typical launching point area to float, and it's about, depending on how far you go down, can be an hour to about 4 to 5 hours, unless you go all the way down to Sac State, and that's a float right there. So I have done that. It is a great time. I'm getting a little old for floating. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of a younger crowd, but you know what? Just enjoy your life. Go live it. Go out there, float if you want to float. So yeah, I have done that.
Float away, float on.
Mm.
Well, floating into our next segment, new projects. So, we did talk about pricing, guys, and I know that this particular area is not the cheapest, but they are still offering new communities. So, Elliott Homes is offering at Heritage at Gum Ranch in Fair Oaks new homes, about 20, and they're ranging from 766,000 to 927,000. Ooh. So when we talk about that average median price for what a household income should look like, now we understand the numbers, right? But these properties in particular are a little bit larger than what I featured in previous week episodes, 2,400 square feet to 3,600, a little over 3,600 square feet, pretty large homes. So two models in particular that I thought looked really appealing is the Lucerne model, priced at 802. They do have some that are already built and then others that are on the queue ready for development if you're interested. Their square footage is a little over 2,500 square feet, 4 bedroom, 3 bath with a 3-car garage. Their larger size model is the Brome plan, and that's priced at 766,000, a little over. 2437 is a square feet footage, 3 bedroom, 2 bath. So a little bit smaller than the first one, 2 car garage, but still in that happy medium price range under 900,000, right? So if you're wanting brand new and you love Fair Oaks as a community, then perhaps Elliott Homes is a place I can take you to show you. So if you're interested in touring or you want to check out some of these mid-mod century homes, million-dollar properties, or anything else that they have to offer in the Fair Oaks community, you can call on me, DM me, text me, Facebook, and we can set up an appointment. So Mac, what else do our listeners have to look forward to?
Well, they have life to look forward to. They have the rest of the summer to look forward to. The fair's still here for a little bit longer. So they have that to look forward to, and hopefully a lot of other great blessings in their lives. But as far as it pertains to us and what we can do together, they have two things that they can look forward to. That is a community report analysis, which Lisa can do for you, and a credit report analysis, which I can do for you. These two things combined together with our homeowners roadmap process is really what you should be doing, even if you are years out from thinking that you want to own a home. If you're like, you know what, I'm going to start saving now. Great. This is the time for us to start meeting up with you and start setting the system up. So, a lot of great things in your life, but this can be another great thing. Why not help yourself out, set yourself up to be successful in the future? Because getting on the property ladder can be a little bit difficult, a little bit tricky, can be very frustrating, but with the right team, we can really set you up for success. So, thank you guys for tuning into the show today. Man, that was a lot of work to get us on the air today, but we made it. We made it happen. And thank you guys, and you guys have a great weekend.
Okay, see you next week. Bye.